Hey guys, welcome back to 3am. If you're new here, this channel makes content surrounding anything paranormal, eerie, and creepy. Now if you enjoy that style of content, I invite you to check out any of my other videos up on the channel. So hit that like button for me, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into today's topic of the video. We're going to be diving into more dark and eerie Reddit stories. There are some good ones today, especially this first one you're going to see. Don't go for the cheap Airbnb. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. The Airbnb. I'm staying at this Airbnb currently for a total of 8 days, 5 down, 3 to go. Due to the fact that I'm moving states and have spent almost all of my savings on moving vehicle rentals, vehicle registration and an apartment down deposit and rent, I needed to be quite frugal on where I stayed before my apartment became available. I wasn't expecting glamour within this cheap Airbnb, but I also wasn't expecting my experience thus far. I am no skeptic to the paranormal. I've had my fair share of experiences. Perhaps you've seen my other stories. I've done much research on surrounding places I've been and mostly blame my travels for my interest in these topics. Despite this, I've never had such a horrible, terrible, off-putting and malicious experience. Ever. Background on the Airbnb. It's in a neighbourhood that's rather woodsy, in a studio-ish apartment with a separating wall to make somewhat of a bedroom. It's on the same block that the train tracks run through. Above your head the bridge goes over the street out front, so the train is loud. Here goes. First, bad luck. Lots of it. Before I got the Airbnb, but after I'd reserved it, that's when it began. The job I'd lined up fell through. Then 5 interviews later, I still got no job. Not to boast, but I interview well. I'm a pretty well kept person and my interviews have all gone well. My vehicle, a 2018, is having mechanical issues. Luckily under warranty, but still. My dog who was staying at my parents' house needed surgery 2 days ago, and the apartment complex pushed my tenancy a week due to repairs at the very last minute, hence the Airbnb. Second, I have insomnia that I manage well, but I'm no good at sleeping through the night or falling asleep in the first place. But here, when I go to bed, this fog seems to fall over me and I fall asleep almost instantly. While I'm asleep, I'm cognitively aware that I am in fact asleep, but I feel like I'm lucid dreaming and have strange dreams of the walls falling to the ground, leaving me laying surrounded by the furniture in a strange forest. The other house is gone, but the train is still there. It feels so dark and intimidating when I'm sleeping. Sometimes there's a dark cloud above me, just hovering inches from my head. And third, activity, experiences, events, whatever you want to call them. The floors creak when you walk. They've been creaking when I'm not walking though too. The bedroom window opened by itself. One night while I was sleeping, I can feel someone behind me while I'm cooking and have to have my back to the room. But worse of all, the unexplainable. I've been touched, and not softly. The first time, on my right leg just above my knee. It was broad daylight and I was folding laundry while standing next to the bed. I heard the creaking like footsteps. I ignored it. Then it happened again. Only louder. I ignored it again. The floor creaked again, and then it happened. It felt like a fast, hard pressure above my knee, and it scared the fuck out of me. I yelped and had no idea what just happened. That is, until I looked at it when I took my jeans off that night. There is a clear handprint consisting of a thumb and 2 fingers. I've been touched 2 other times at this point, and it's been 5 days here. These instances also left bruises on my other leg. I don't have the money to rent a different place for these last few days. I have to wait this out, but I don't know what to do. This feels different than any experience I've had, and I'm thoroughly not okay with it. I'm crying just typing this out, and I'm at a loss of how to face this. An experience has never before had this effect on me. Okay guys, we have a link here on the story to a picture of her leg, which we're going to run through together. And this is the picture of her leg. You can see the bruise on different parts just above the knee. You've got like 4-5 bruises. You can roughly see the finger marks. It kind of looks like a hand to me. I'm not sure. Obviously this could be anything, but to say that this could be a hand and that this story is true is absolutely terrifying. To have this particular print on your leg from something unknown would be mortifying. Okay, so this next story is a ghost photographed, and that is the plain, simple headline we're given here from this Reddit poster. Now, this is a very short story, so I thought I would include it purely because of the photo that was included in this story. Very eerie, that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that, and we're going to look at the photo after I've read you the story. I'll start off by saying that my cousin attempted to post this yesterday, but his post was removed for not being a personal experience or something. He texted me and asked me if I use Reddit and if I'd be willing to post the picture I took here. I believe 100% that what is pictured in the link, which my cousin said Imager, as to be used here, and he already had it up and sent me the link. So what happened was I was just hanging out with my grandma at the time this was taken. She was sick, had a tumour on her brain, still sharp as ever though, minus a few hallucinations the tumour caused. I realised she was nearing the end, so I took pictures of her. Now the house she lived in was haunted. Everyone in the family agrees. She was born in the house, and she always thought it was her family who haunted it. But the picture to me seems to show something more malevolent. I snapped the picture and didn't look at it again until after my grandma had passed, and noticed the shade looking thing hanging out on the bed she slept on, right behind her purse. I'm 100% that this is a ghost, but I'm open to someone who can point out something that contradicts that. The link is below. On the bed you can see a kind of pale looking older man facing towards the wall, looking at his grandma, also facing towards the camera, as you can see in this picture here. It's a very eerie photo, and you can see the outline of his face. You can see he's wearing a shirt with a collar, a white collar and a grey sort of cardigan. He possesses long shaggy hair, and he is looking very demonically towards us. And it's just a coincidence how the camera took a shot and he's facing that way, or is that the ghost on purpose looking at the camera as a sign? Now these last ones, we're going to be looking at a Reddit called R Glitch in the Matrix. This could be a whole nother entire video idea that springs to mind for me that could come up on the channel anytime soon. When I was exploring the world of Reddit, I had to cover this because I saw some really interesting clips and photos on here that I thought we could all have a look at, because they are very obscure. So this one is the same dude plays for both teams and watches the game. So you've got this guy here, obviously on one team, and then the other guy here on another team, and then this guy here on the bench with his hood up. This one is so odd. The same guy with the same hoodie in the same restaurant at the same time. How does anyone even begin to explain that? It's so surreal to the point where it's actually insanely creepy. Let me know if any of you guys have experienced anything of a glitch in the Matrix in your lives. I'd be keen to hear any stories in the comment section below. Whisper in my kids' room last night. We have more paranormal activity evidence in this subreddit, and this time we are following this story up with video evidence. So I'm going to read the story for you guys and then show you the video at the end. Enjoy. Let me start off by saying I've lived alongside spirits for most of my life. I'm pretty chill with it most of the time, but I'm also quick to debunk things. I don't believe that every creak and crack is a spirit, but I just can't wrap my head around this video. We've lived in this house for 3 years and just had the roof redone yesterday. My husband was putting the kids, 3-year-old and 17-month-old, to bed when my youngest started crying at the gate right before the bedrooms. Now this happens almost nightly, so I wasn't concerned. Then my oldest goes to the gate and says, "Scary in mummy's room. Ghosts are scary." He knows about ghosts mostly from Halloween books and shows. He's 3 with a wild imagination. This morning when I spoke to him about it, he said the same thing. I asked him what the ghosts look like and he just said spooky. I'm not 100% sold they saw anything. Later that night, I get this notification in my kid's room and hear the whisper in the beginning. I try to tell myself it's my kid, but it doesn't sound anything like him. The more I look at it, the more it looks like his leg is getting pulled at the same time. I don't know, help me out here. What do you guys think? I've already smudged my house this morning just in case. And now there's 2 videos for me to show you. There's one of the original video that she posted, and there's an enhanced video that a commenter on the post has posted. So it gives us an indication of 2 potential different sounds that we can make out what is actually being said by this so-called ghost. Originally that video didn't do much for me, so I found a comment with the enhanced version instead, so let's take a look at that one. You can see that the kid's leg in the video had been pulled off the bed, but the counter argument to that is that the kid was maybe just moving in his sleep or something along those lines. It's potentially just the kid moving more so than it is anything else pulling the leg, like an entity for example. As for the video itself, I really couldn't work out what the voice was saying, so if anybody has any idea what that voice was or could make out the actual sentence, please comment down below. I hope you enjoyed those creepy Reddit stories, or the darker side of Reddit if you like. I enjoy exploring these stories and creating videos around them, and if it entertains any of you guys, well, that's just an added bonus, and I am so grateful for anyone who sticks around and watches any of my videos. Maybe one day this will be a full-time thing and I'll be able to more consistency for everyone. So if you haven't already, subscribe if you're new, like the video if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Take care, everyone.